Good afternoon, everyone. Have you ever felt overwhelmed, stressed, or anxious? If so, you're not alone. In today's fast-paced and constantly connected world, it's easy to feel like we're always on the go and never have time to slow down and take care of ourselves. But what if I told you that you could find inner peace and cultivate mindfulness and self-care even amidst the chaos of daily life? Today, I want to talk to you about the importance of finding inner peace and how you can cultivate mindfulness and self-care to achieve it. Let's start by asking ourselves a few questions. Do you take time to slow down and connect with yourself? Are you aware of your thoughts, feelings, and emotions? Do you practice self-care on a regular basis? The truth is, finding inner peace is a journey that requires self-awareness, self-reflection, and self-care. It's about making a conscious effort to slow down, be present in the moment, and take care of ourselves physically, emotionally, and mentally. It's about creating a space for ourselves to just be. So how can we cultivate mindfulness and self-care in our lives? One way is to practice meditation or mindfulness exercises. These practices help us to become more aware of our thoughts, feelings, and emotions, and to observe them without judgment. They also help us to develop a greater sense of clarity, focus, and calmness. Another way to cultivate mindfulness and self-care is to engage in activities that bring us joy and fulfillment, such as reading, writing, painting, or spending time in nature. These activities help us to connect with ourselves on a deeper level and to tap into our inner creativity and passion. In addition, it's important to prioritize self-care on a regular basis. This means taking care of our physical health by eating well, getting enough sleep, and exercising regularly. It also means taking care of our emotional and mental health by seeking support when we need it, setting healthy boundaries, and practicing self-compassion. Now, I know that some of you may be thinking, that all sounds great, but I don't have time for self-care. I'm too busy with work, family, and other responsibilities. And I get it. Life can be busy and hectic, but the truth is, taking care of ourselves is not a luxury or a selfish act. It's a necessity. It's what allows us to show up fully in our lives and to be the best version of ourselves and for others. So let me ask you, what are some small steps you can take today to cultivate mindfulness and self-care in your life? Maybe it's taking a few minutes each day to meditate or practice deep breathing. Maybe it's scheduling some time each week to engage in an activity that brings you joy. Or maybe it's setting boundaries with work or social media to create more space for yourself. Whatever it is, I encourage you to take that first step. Because when we prioritize our own well-being, we not only benefit ourselves, but we also create a ripple effect that can positively impact those around us. As we wrap up this discussion on finding inner peace, I want to share a personal anecdote that may resonate with some of you. A few years ago, I was going through a difficult time in my life. I was working long hours at a job that didn't fulfill me, anxiety and depression. I felt like I was constantly on edge and couldn't find a way to escape the chaos of my own mind. One day, a friend suggested that I try practicing mindfulness and self-care. At first, I was skeptical. I didn't think that sitting still and focusing on my breath could make a difference in my life, but I decided to give it a try. To my surprise, I found that practicing mindfulness and self-care was a game changer. It helped me to connect with myself on a deeper level, to become more aware of my thoughts and feelings, and to find a sense of calmness and clarity amidst the chaos of my life. Through this journey, I also learned that self-care is not a one-time thing. It's a practice that requires consistency and commitment. It's about making a conscious effort to take care of ourselves even when it's hard or uncomfortable. So if you're feeling overwhelmed or stressed, I encourage you to take a step back and prioritize your own well-being. Remember that finding inner peace. In closing, I want to remind you that finding inner peace is a journey, not a destination. It's about being kind to ourselves, cultivating a sense of presence, and embracing the beauty of the present moment. So let's make a commitment today to prioritize our own well-being, to cultivate mindfulness and self-care. And remember that cultivating mindfulness and self-care is not a one-time thing. It's a continuous process that requires effort, commitment, and self-compassion. There will be days when we feel like we've lost our sense of calm or when we forget to prioritize our own well-being, and that's okay. The important thing is to keep going, to keep showing up for ourselves, and to keep making self-care a priority in our lives. I want to leave you with a quote from the renowned Buddhist monk, Thich Nhat Hanh. Peace is every step. It turns the endless path to joy. Remember that peace is not something that we find outside of ourselves. It's something that we cultivate within ourselves, step by step. So let's take that first step today. Let's commit to our own well-being, to cultivating mindfulness and self-care, and to finding the inner peace that we all deserve. Have a great afternoon.